G'day guys, here with Kenton Peart. Now Kenton, can you share with us, share with everyone where we are and where your farm's located?
Okay, so we are about 55 k's northeast of Charleville, so we're sort of between Charleville and Augathella in southwest Queensland. Amy and I run 3 properties in this sort of Charleville-Augathella district, and it's all 100% beef, and yeah, we're focused on organic production.
Yep, absolutely. Now Kenton's agreed to vacuum all the dirt off of the caravan floor that's coming in on this dirty road. We've had to do, what, 80 or not, what would you say, 55 k's on dirt, and a few more to go on the way out.
Yeah, you got another 30 to go.
Yeah, so fill the caravan up with nice red dust. It's great to get out here, great to spend some time with you guys. Really appreciate you having us, and really exciting to drive around last night and have a look at your organic operation. You obviously sell some bulls as well. Got a bit of a bull flock there that you sell for rangeland stud.
Yep, rangeland bulls. Yep.
A little bit of organic cropping that, or fat. Is it organic crop for fattening?
It's fodder. Yeah,
fodder. Yeah,
organic fodder.
Yep.
I'm glad you brought up the red dust, because everybody raves about the red dirt in Western Queensland, but the novelty wears off when they have to vacuum it out of the back of their car. So yeah, we've got a very small fodder cropping operation that is organic, and it's just growing oats and forage sorghum and a mixture of legumes, just for growing and fattening cattle. And yeah, so we breed and fatten in season here, and like you said, we run a small seed stock operation on the side called Rangeland Bulls, and it's all focused on low cost, highly efficient protein production. Basically, there's nothing fancy. There's no show ring type bulls. It's it's all just the most efficient possible productivity we can get at the lowest cost.
Yeah, and that really reflects in your commercial herd that I've seen. Like really tried and tested genetics. Such an even line, selection pressure on them has been really high, and that really reflects across your whole herd, just a really consistent, high-performing herd.
Yeah, no, we've worked at it for a long time now, shortening our joining season, putting a lot of pressure on fertility especially, but temperament and lots of adaptation traits to try and produce cattle that are generating the most amount of kgs per hectare possible for the least possible cost. And what we're finding is, as we've been at it for a long time, we've sort of inherited these herds off our families, and so they started it, and then we've kept working at it. And yeah, we've got a few generations now of cattle that have been under a lot of pressure to perform over a lot of years, and I think we're making really good headway in that space.
Yeah, absolutely. It shows out in the paddock. And on the bottom line, which is the end game, profitability. Organics, the word organics to me sounds hard work. Can you just sort of share what some of the, and one of the values for the Pearts is simplicity, keeping things simple and not overcomplicating it. What's some of the biggest challenges with organics?
So organics in a lot of areas, like organics has got probably a pretty tough reputation in some areas, because the input costs, if you have to use input costs with if you have to use inputs with organics, they tend to be maybe a bit ineffective and then possibly very expensive. The beauty of this operation is that because it's a hot, dry environment, we don't have huge parasite loads, and like internal or external parasites are not too much. We don't have huge weed populations where we used to have to use lots of chemical. It's a pasture operation, and it doesn't require chemical to establish or maintain pasture, or fertiliser for that matter. So like, it is a hot, dry area, but it sort of works in nicely with the organics because we don't have need for those inputs. That makes organic difficult or impossible in other environments.
Yeah, great insight there, thank you. Now, not to take away, just in finishing up, not to take away from the property, the organics, the quality of your cattle, but my biggest takeaway was probably Amy's sauce she put on the organic grass-fed roast beef we had last night. That was an absolute cracker. So thank you for putting that on the table last night.
No worries,
Having
mate.
a great meal.
I know the weight gain of me, I think, might be the most impressive thing of this property because of my wife's cooking.
Yeah, it was a real treat, and thanks for having us.
No worries, mate. Thanks for coming.
Cheers.
Really appreciate it.